Hey y'all, been a while. I haven't really uploaded any videos yet. I'm kind of waiting for Donna's trial. But you know what? I was watching a commentary on her upcoming trial in a couple months. And I got to tell you, I really believe, sadly, that she is going to beat this charge. And the reason why I think that so wholeheartedly is, well, first of all, if they had tried her with Charlie, they could have borrowed so much of his guilt and they could have laid it on her. But the fact that they're trying her all by herself, and the fact that she's probably going to stick with that goofy story, and as everybody knows, she doesn't have to prove to y'all that it's true like Charlie did, or the jury, I should say. She only has to prove that she believed it. And what jury is not going to believe that a mother didn't want to believe her son? So that's a no-brainer, and that's going to be an easy as heck hurdle. So then you're left with those horrible text messages or Gmails. And that right there, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you've ever listened to people apologize, but it seems that's all I do is see people sorry for what they've said and done these days, because so many people say and do things they shouldn't, and it gets leaked, and then they have to be all humble and say they're sorry. And a lot of times the public forgives them. So depending on how skeptical the jurors are, there's a good chance if she's sitting there with her little cardigan and her old lady look, and she looks at the jury in earnest after they play those Gmails, and she says, I'm so ashamed, of myself. Those were such horrible things to say. I just was so in the heat of the moment. I loved my grandchildren so much, and I just felt like I could never see them. And I just felt like Dan was, really trying to hurt us, even though I see now that he wasn't. He was just trying to be a good dad. But I internalized all of his actions and took it to mean that he was like an enemy. But I now realize that he wasn't, and I never should have said those horrible things or plotted to have those terrible things done to his son so that he would get upset and be like, enough. And I really am ashamed of myself. And, I've sought my church or my synagogue or whatever for forgiveness for how I could have treated him that way and acted that way and blah, blah, blah. And I think if she does a good enough speech and she looks at the jury like she really means it and she eats crow, they will be able to discount her animus for him in those Gmails. And so then you're left with the bump. But again, she's able to rely on the fact that she just took the bump and put it in her purse and walked away because she knew that Charlie was being threatened or whatever that word is, because I'm at a loss right now. What the heck is that word? Oh my God. I don't talk often enough. I use your words, Carol. Embezzled? No. Well, you know the word when people hold you. Oh, what is that word? This is going to bother me. I guess I need to look it up. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to look it up. Threatened for money, right? That's what it... Let's see what Google says, how helpful they are. Extortion. Thank you, Google. Okay, so... she only has to convince you that she knew Charlie was being extorted and that this had something to do with that. And that's why she just kind of took the paper and tucked it in her purse. I mean, let's face it. This is going to be very tough to get a conviction for her. And I'm only saying that not because I don't want to see her convicted, but I just think that everybody needs to really lower their expectation because it is not looking good. Now, if they somehow would arrest Wendy in the process and somehow put all the things that she did. I mean, come on. She did so many things that could go either way. And then you have Donna, everything going either way. And I mean, I guess there is no way they could try them together because Donna's had such a head start on being arrested. But I don't know. I'm just at this point, I'm just fantasizing because this has just gone on for too long. I think Georgia has lost her momentum, as sad as it makes me to say that. And at best, I'm kind of happy that Donna has been, kept from her life and her boys, and her whole life kind of fallen apart due to her actions with, what she did. And even if she doesn't serve jail time, I mean, she's in a hell of her own at this point. She's been ostracized from the community, and her daughter, and her son is in prison for life. And I mean, there's a lot of punishment in there if you want to look at it the right way. Maybe not enough punishment, but a lot. And then lastly, I think this is another thing I'm not too crazy about, but just from looking at the way Donna acted the first couple of weeks when she was arrested, I mean, she was freaking out, right? And she was so hostile, and all her looks were so indignant and entitled, and you were like, oh, this is going to be a fun trial. But if you look at Donna in the hearings, and after the judge tells her about the lawyer, and, she's under certain risks if she retains him, and you just watch how contrite she is and how pleasant and good morning and thank you. I think she's probably having a grand old time in jail because, I mean, I'll bet that people are looking up to her as this rich lady that had a really great life, and they probably think she has answers, which is crazy because, look, she's in for murder. But so are those people, a lot of her inmates. So I think that she's having a pretty good time in prison. She's probably playing cards, knitting, telling people what to do, giving her advice, being looked up to. Those are all things that feed a narcissism's diet, if you will. So I don't think things are as bad for Donna as you would think. But, I mean, it's a sad way to go out. If I had my dithers, Wendy would have been strung up. I don't think they ever would have gotten a conviction, but man, would I have loved to see her be put through the legal system and knock some of that arrogance off her face. I would have been happy with just that. But anyway, I digress. So that's about it. I don't think Donna's going to be convicted. I don't think Donna is as miserable in jail as I wish she were. I don't think Wendy's going to be arrested because I think that ship has sailed. And I definitely don't think Harvey will be. And so I think we're pretty much, I don't know. I mean, it would be so sad for the Tallahassee to, have a big fail at the end. But really, the way that the tide is going, how people are so quick to give guilty people a pass, and the way that people are always thinking that the law enforcement set everybody up. And I mean, I just don't know. We better hope, but it's not looking good. Well, anyway, that's my take on it. But don't give me a bunch of flame comments because I don't want this any more than anybody else. I would love to see justice for Dan Markel. I just don't know if there's any more justice to be gained after all the justice they got. What is that? 4 convictions. That's pretty good. So I'm kind of happy with it. I'm happy with Donna being put through the ringer. And Wendy's life has been turned to, she's thinking of leaving Tallahassee, Miami, and I hear she's moving to Austin. And, her life has been no cakewalk since all of this. So, but I'm not feeling sorry for her. Don't think that for 1 second. I just, I think that people have been as punished as they might be. But we'll see. And that's it. Thanks for listening, y'all. Bye.